take a nice few deep breaths in and out. Whew. And in fact, this time, if you would like to join, they invite us to do 3 nice long stretched aums. So if it feels in the flow for you, sit in a position that feels good to make a bit of noise. Breathe in deeply and calmly and breathe out with the sound, however feels good to you, if you can join. Thank you so much for that, because with that you also activate within yourself and touch upon yet another translation of your own Earth's frequency. And many species on your planet, many races have known throughout the ages that this sound and similar sounds touch upon that energy frequency. It is a very effective way to bring yourself into harmony, into alignment with your Gaia. And where you are right now, with the many choices laying ahead and open for you, in front of you, if you wish to look at it linearly, you have left yourself many such reminders, not just the idea of auming or meditation or teachings that are coming through particular teachers at any given time, and more so now increasing, but also artifacts and locations and vortices that are being rediscovered yet again, even though they may seem new for where you are right now in your own self-exploration and self-discovery, that can accelerate yet again new entries, new portals within yourself, within your planet, where you are being invited to activate each other, yourself, your Gaia, and vice versa. So, with that said, just a little bit of another angle, a little bit of an extra note into the mix. We are here and again available for you for the continuation of your dance of question and answer, if you so desire.
Good afternoon, Arjun.
And hello to you.
Such a blessing to share this experience again with you.
And likewise.
Thank you. I have really resonated with the beautiful information that you are sharing with us in relation to our creation of new timeline, new Earth.
Oh, thank you for taking that reflection to heart.
Very beautiful. And it's quite interesting because my question really feeds into that. So if you can think of the tools of pyramids.
Yes.
And perhaps the symbology in crop circles.
Yes.
My question is relating around languages. So we're more familiar with spoken and written, the alphabet language. But my understanding, it also includes numbers, symbols and colours, and probably sounds as well, are forms of languages. Can you tell us something about the power of these languages and how maybe we can incorporate them in our co-creation going forward to this new earth?
Well, thank you so very much for this question. So, yes, in a sense, you could call all of these aspects also types and versions of languages. Numerology, for instance, colors, etc., everything that you just mentioned, can be seen as types of languages that you use to speak to yourselves in, to remind yourselves of who you really are. So, for some people, to pick the example of numbers, seeing double numbers or using that as a hidden code, in a sense, as a secret language that is being whispered to them from the background, but constantly very present within their perception of their reality. It is a tool, a permission slip, a mirror for them to realize yet again and again and again in any given moment, I'm on track. I am where I'm supposed to be. Or I choose to put this particular meaning into that particular number, and I will take that and that from it when it appears in my sight. So you're all speaking to yourselves in many, many languages. So coloration can be that. So sensations in many, many ways. Tones, singing are all languages that you can use to access deeper layers of your own core being. For some people, singing, listening to song or singing for themselves, the act of that, can be a key to access information on deeper layers within themselves. So you use these tools in a way that benefits you, but it depends per individual what type of language, in that sense, would do the trick, so to speak, for them. And that is why you have such a wide range of languages and such a wide access to them. Because there is so many people on your planet. There is so many of you. And you within yourselves contain so many cross connections to other civilizations, to other also universal cosmic species, but also civilizations that have previously, linearly speaking, existed on the face of your earth. So Gaia herself, her song is becoming more multidimensional as more people on your earth are opening up to receive more multidimensional, to see themselves more in that way, to understand that their physical body is not the be and end all that there is, that they are more than just the physical body. And by beginning to see beyond the, let's say, stage of the theater game, the play that you're playing together, you automatically, even with a slight curiosity in that direction, open up such languages to become more, let's say, obvious to you. So, but still, it will depend on the person, on the individual, what then will jump to the surface. And for one person, it may be very specifically numbers throughout their entire life. And for another person, it may be very specifically music. For other people, it may be a mix. And it may fluctuate a bit. Numbers more throughout this phase of their life, then suddenly toning, then suddenly particular imagery that they would like to meditate on, play around with. And that, in fact, as an example, brings us to the idea of the Cropcircles, which is a very beautiful topic to bring to this particular topic of your earth. Gaia, speaking, singing. Because your Cropcircles are on your earth, literally on the face, a co-creation with nature, of Gaia. In most occasions, it is a blending of energy frequencies. Roughly speaking, a mixture of your own species from a future version of Earth that has decided to leave you. In other words, you have decided to leave yourself hints that could help accelerate, if you choose to resonate with these permission slips, your journey into the direction of that specific future Earth. So those that feel excited to explore the idea of the Cropcircles, and obviously there are some that are man-made and there are some that are obviously not We know that everybody with their antennas out can clearly tell the difference. Yes?
Yes.
So those energetically created ones were created through time and space, and were left, or you left them to yourselves, to help activate and open up a particular awareness within yourself of yet other dimensions that you already contain and that you are ready to deepen your awareness of. So when, for instance, one particular shape of crop circle really speaks to you, really resonates with you, what you can do, if you feel excited about that, is see if you can draw it or make your own impression or make it three-dimensionally of any type of material that you feel is fun to play with. And perhaps even move it around and see what it would look like if these dots in the quote-unquote flat image were balls, and if you could move them around like a constellation. Playing around. Okay, how fun. Playing around with your crop circles in that way, in a creative manner, allows also interstellar extraterrestrial energy frequencies and frequencies from that future version of Earth to become more aware within you. You may find that then within your dreams, within your meditations, you begin to receive images of that version of Earth, or download, you could say, quote-unquote, conversations with a future version of yourself that has incarnated on that version of Earth. All little, you could say, hints and pieces of information, all types of puzzle pieces can then find their way more perceivable to you in this incarnation for your persona self's mind, in a sense, to take in and understand deeper. Because there is always a reason why something calls you, why something makes your heart beat faster. And the more unreasonable it seems, more so then the impact of that, although again you cannot insist and you cannot expect that it will be that way for everybody, but in most occasions to allow yourself to act on these things that seem apart, aside from reason, that do not necessarily add to your everyday life, as most people choose to look at that, the functionality, the practicality of your everyday doings. Still, to then choose to act on these things and play around with it are most often the fastest accelerators of that process within yourself. Exactly because it seems to make no sense. The rational mind cannot grasp the depth and the potency of the meaning in symbols such as these. Not right away. And that is why you're being invited to play around with it. For some people, visiting these spots is one such type of play. Also, a little giveaway hint in these co-creations that unfold on a multi-dimensional manner between your future selves, your Earth, Gaia, and yourselves right here and now, is the idea that in order to see the entire shape, you need a third point of view. You need a higher perspective. You need a drone, a helicopter, what have you, in order to see the entire object of the crop circle in its totality, correct?
Yes.
That is part of the game, part of the hint that is hiding within that particular language, that you find that higher point of view. So within every single crop circle, that already is one of the fundamental energy frequencies locked within it. Find the overview. And when you feel drawn to play around with this particular permission slip, you will find that you will feel more urged to find that overview in your own life, more so too. For example, now, the pyramids is yet an entirely different story, but with the pyramids we can say it is one of the many artifacts, the many constructions that you have left yourself to rediscover in this day and age, exactly because you are ready to remember. You are ready to dive deep with this information that is quote-unquote hiding in there. Not that it is all that mysterious. Pyramids, the original ones, were meant as, first of all, of course, to withstand time in a very profound manner. Again, by their shape, also again showing you to rise above polarity and find a third point of view, by the shape of the triangle. But as a building, they were used mainly to contact with multidimensional layers. There were rooms in there where people could do particular exercises, where they also performed rituals, went into meditations, and eventually cross-connected very consciously through out-of-body experiences, but very lucid, with us and other beings from, quote-unquote, the stars and other dimensional realms, so that then that information could be, quote-unquote, taken down to the physical realm and be applied there. That was the main use of such constructions. Now referring to, as an example, the bigger ones in Giza were used for that, primarily. Now, of course, there's a lot of other information hiding in these buildings, and they onto themselves resonate and form a portal that we still very gladly use as a type of highway to connect with your planet, as well, interdimensional portals. And the more of these locations are being discovered and being reactivated with the species that you are today, the more of that information can then be given free way to your minds, to your hearts, so that you can use that where you are now in a practical and pragmatic manner, because it is still relevant. Were it not still relevant for you, you would not discover them now all over the place. Under your oceans, in deserts, under the jungle, in the woods, you name it. There are many, many more than you have pinpointed officially on your maps so far. Does that help?
Oh, it's wonderful. Thank you.